All right, when you talk real estate, everybody wants to know what's happening with the dream homes, the high-end stuff, but also the marketplace. Joining us on the show, he's an award-winning realtor, great friend of the show, Seth O'Byrne. Good to have you here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about that luxury market. It's kind of a fun topic of conversation, but it's also a very different market from what we see in just your traditional medium price real estate. What's happening up there?
Yeah, so it's been an interesting time for San Diego. I think we've seen the convergence of two things, right? So San Diego right now is an international market, and we have this new kind of excitement and energy from the international community that is pushing some of these ultra premium luxury listings out the door and getting them sold quickly in San Diego, which they'd have a harder time 10 years ago. At the same time, I do think we're seeing a little bit of a slowing of the luxury market. I don't think trade wars are helping us. Fear of interest rates does affect buyer psychology. So I think those things are interesting. But I think in general, super prime, ultra perfect luxury real estate in San Diego is selling just as quick, if not quicker, than ever.
Well, you have the median home price where we've heard the low inventory thing now for years. You put the home on the market, it's going to sell. When you get to the higher price range, you're talking smarter dollars in a different marketplace altogether. So tailoring an actual marketing plan and a strategy around it, I think, is the real key ingredient. And honestly, I've been traveling the country for the last couple of years launching the show. We handpicked the best realtors in every city. I've never met a better marketer of real estate than what this guy does. Great guy to follow on social media just because it's interesting and entertaining. But talk to me about properties and marketing them. I know you have some on the market right now. I mean, take us up the coast.
Yeah, so almost to the very end of Point Lomas Peninsula, which I think is one of the more interesting coastal land masses in San Diego. It juts right out into the ocean. On one side is the San Diego Bay overlooking Coronado downtown. On the other side is the Pacific Ocean and Sunset Cliffs, which is some of the best surfing beaches in San Diego. So you've got access to yachting, boating, downtown lifestyle, urban retreat stuff, and then you've got the ocean right there. We've got a property, 3516 Hugo, which is very cool. And this property is in Fleet Ridge 2, which means the views are fully protected, which is a big deal. And the views are as close to a postcard of San Diego as you could ever get, sub $2 million. You know, this property is super cute. It's very approachable. I think it's a very friendly beach house, but it has all the modern conveniences you would want. It's got this very nautical, cool kitchen setup, but the views are absolutely incredible. You know,
now, it's viewing towards the downtown?
Yeah, you can
just describe Point Loma in a really interesting way. You really do have on the one side of it Sunset Cliffs, Ocean Beach, beachy style. On the other side of it, you got that yacht style downtown living. Both are close. This is viewing.
You're
downtown.
probably looking at $3 or $4 billion in yachts from your kitchen.
Wow.
All of the downtown high-rises, including amazing, incredible new ones like Bosa's Pacific Gate and the park in Balboa Park, you know, shimmering windows of downtown, the Coronado, Mexico to the south, and the Coronado Islands, and you can see the largest yachts really on the American West Coast come through the main waterway. So, I mean, the view is insane.
In Point Loma, you're close to everything. So take us up the coast.
Yeah.
Right? What else you got?
So we've got a lot of great properties, but one of them that I love, which is a really cool property, I think, I believe it's the largest home on the Sea Cliff in Encinitas. It is just about 9,700 square feet, almost a 10,000 square foot, three-story house. Enormous home, very stately, but from the exterior, kind of similar to that property in Point Loma, it's got this Cape Cod vibe, so it's very approachable. So, you know, if you want 10,000 square feet and 7 bedrooms and, you know, 74 feet of ocean frontage with very nearby access to the sand, this is great. But from the outside, it's kind of a sleeper. You wouldn't know that it was so incredible. But from the Sea Cliff, every surfer in Encinitas knows this house. It's famous.
So how do you capture the story of that house, which you just described very authentically here, and how do you create that story and get it out to potential buyers? Earlier you were talking about international buyers. How do we create the story and how do we get it out?
So I think that the beach lifestyle is really romantic, right? And I think when you think beaches, you think one of two things, right? You think this kind of romantic vibe between two people who buy this little home for their life.
Definitely in Encinitas.
Definitely in Encinitas. We thought family. So we actually worked with a local talent agency and created a video where it was a daughter waking up the father in the bedroom in the morning. The sun was just coming up, and he's teaching her how to surf at the beach right in front of the house.
Wow.
And it was fun. We put a really cool filter on it. It was very emotional. It was evocative. It was a very different way of showcasing, an almost $10 million property. But we thought that the buyer of a Cape Cod property like this that has 7 bedrooms is probably a family-focused person. So we crafted the marketing around that.
I absolutely love that, man. It's just so many agents these days just create this cookie-cutter plan that their corporation told them how to do, and they're not tailoring it. I think what you called it years ago is bespoke marketing.
Yeah.
And that's years ago. You've coined this thing, and now people are trying to catch up with you as you're blazing new trails. And then you got this property that I saw on social media, which is ridiculous. It's a winery.
Manzanita Ridge Winery.
Yeah, so finish us off with that one.
Yeah, so we just priced it at $2.25 million. This property's on 9 acres.
Outrageous,
No,
right? I mean, $2.25 million.
So this, I joked when we first released the property, the wine that is produced on this vineyard, which is part of the property that's for sale, which you can keep or not keep the vineyard, but it's there.
Wow.
It produces more gold medals than Shaun White. Just think about that, right? I mean, it has so many gold medals for its primarily Zinfandels. You don't realize this, but actually Southern California produces incredible wine. Mm-hmm. Manzanita Ridge probably has the best. And we have an amazing Tuscan, very old world home for sale with fountains and secret gardens and walking trails. And you can, if you're a beekeeper, there's a place for your bees. It's on an amazing promontory in Escondido. It's every bit as luxurious as Rancho Santa Fe, but because it's where it is, in this area off a street called Lotus Pond, you can't see any neighbors. Mm-hmm. So if you want to check on your grapes naked, I've got a great house for you.
Naked grape checking.
Which is
Watch out for the bees, though.
We never put that in the MLS. but I think, yeah, look out for the bees. But I think it's amazing. It's 9 rolling hills. It's absolutely stunning. Everyone who's looked at the property is seeking, to have access to the beach in San Diego, but 25 minutes inland, you can't see a soul. So
very private.
Very private. It's a great place, I think, for a fast-paced CEO, someone who's a hardworking person who goes, you know what? By the time I get home from work, I want to turn off the world and live in my own kingdom.
Yeah.
With amazing wine as well.
Fascinating. We got to get you back on the show because I want to know who ends up buying these amazing properties.
Yeah.
Seth O'Byrne, luxury specialist, Sotheby's. Always good to have you on the show, man.
Thank you.
More of the American Dream coming up next. All right, welcome back to the American Dream. One of our favorite guests who truly empowers the very mindset of the American Dream. Good friend, Grant Cardone. Grant, welcome to the show.
Always good to see you, man. Dream big, baby.
Yeah, what do you think of those people who say the American Dream is dead?
Well, look, they're dead. They're dead. They quit. They lost too many times. You mounted up too many losses. I know, I've been there. I gave up on my dreams because I mounted up so many losses, and I was surrounded by so many people like me that I gave up on the dream. And a guy told me one day, he's like, look, dude, if you don't work, if you don't show up, if you don't push, the dream will not show up for you.
Yeah, so that's the truth, man. The moment we stop dreaming is the moment I think we are dead, right?
And you got to keep showing up every morning. So I know a lot of people out there just, want to look at the bathroom mirror and say they're going to be rich or they're going to be happy or they're going to be married and they're going to get the beautiful girl or the beautiful guy. But you got to show up in the right places. You got to take action and you got to be willing to give up some stuff.
When you say show up, what do you mean?
I mean, you have to leave your bedroom. You have to leave your living room. You have to leave your address. You might have to leave your city. I've had to leave beautiful San Diego. I lived there for 13 years. I had to leave there. The beauty of San Diego and the La Jolla coastline, I had to leave there to find my wife, to have my kids, to write books, to literally grow my business.
Let's talk about those books, Grant. So you got a new one, How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate. This is a new book you just put out there?
Yep. Can't buy it anywhere. The only way you can get it is right here, okay? All you do is handle the shipping. Any of your audience handles the shipping. I'll handle the book. So they can go to, I think it's cardonecapital.com/book. Easy to remember. And it's about creating wealth using real estate, not all real estate, like not land, not houses, but multifamily, primarily income-producing properties.
So the American Dream is a show that's heavily predicated upon real estate. We travel the entire country, find the best realtors in now 22 cities. Let's talk about that market. So are you bullish on real estate? How do you feel about it?
Well, they say they're not producing any more of it, but when they say that, they start going vertical. So that is a production of more real estate. The real estate I like is a particular asset class, okay, called multifamily or apartments.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people love their home and they think there's money to be made in their home. But let me just suggest to you that if you can make money in a single family home, if you think that's a good investment, imagine if there were 30 homes in one address and you were paid every month as opposed to having to make a payment every month.
Yeah,
so
I think a great place to start for anybody is don't be a renter. Buying a piece of land or your home, building equity, paying down principal, getting tax advantages, raising your family, building community and memories, all that stuff. That's what a home is. When we talk about real estate, I think more on the investment side. So you think that there's good opportunities in these multi-unit properties?
We're becoming a renter nation. So I would tell people, I would just accelerate your thinking there. Don't be a renter. And I would say, no, accelerate to one more level and say, be the landlord. Be a landlord. For instance, I rent where I live, where my family lives, I rent. And I own everything that I can rent to others. So I'm trying to, the goal is to create wealth with real estate. And that means I would be paid to own it, not paid to live there.
For those who would be looking into doing this for the first time, what are the first steps you take? Because obviously when you're biting off a duplex, a fourplex, or you're talking about 20, 30, 40 units, where do you get started for someone who's new to it?
I lay it out in my book, Craig, exactly what property people should be looking for. I would warn people about the duplex and the fourplex and the eightplex. Those are the first properties that went back in 2008, 2009. There's a certain number of properties and a calculation that produce enough cash flow so that you're not the landlord prisoner. You know what I mean? Where you're taking every phone call, you're answering every toilet backup, every termite issue. That's the reason people don't do real estate, because they don't want to deal with tenants. Sure. So I've come up with a formula where you can actually create wealth, get income, pay down the debt like you talked about, and sit and wait for the appreciation that's going to come over time. San Diego, by the way, is one of the most fantastic rental markets in the country.
That was my next question. What areas do you like for these multi-units?
Anywhere where the rent delivered to the marketplace is cheaper than owning a home, and where you can offer affordable, I'm talking $1,500 to $2,300 a month rents or lower, and where you don't probably have rent control. I'd be very careful in the California market of rent control, but I would look in high barrier markets, meaning it's difficult to build there and or very expensive to build. I love Texas. I love Florida. San Diego is just a lockout market. Rents will continue to go higher there, even though the tenants don't like that. It'll be great for landlords long term.
Well, you tried to squeeze an entire book in just a matter of a few minutes, so let's do this, Grant. Anybody who wants to get the free copy of your book, that's a really generous offer. Let's have them reach out to your website, get a free copy of the book, read about it, learn. Grant, thank you so much for coming on The American Dream and sharing some knowledge on investing in real estate. Really appreciate it.
Always good to be with you.
All right, man. That guy is living the American dream, a true success story. Awesome guy. Really, if you want to reach out, hit up his website. You get that book for free. Kind of a cool thing he just gave out there. More of the show coming up next. Well, as you know, the American Dream is a national program where we focus on business, the entrepreneurial spirit, overcoming adversity, finance, the market, all things that are relevant to empowering your American dream. But a big topic of conversation on this show is housing. So what we do is we integrate local, top-producing, award-winning realtors to cover a wide range of topics on that subject, different micro markets, different niche subject matter. Housing is such a big topic, so we're going to bring you a lot of information right now from some of the best in your market. Let's check out these interviews.
Welcome back to the American Dream. We're going to dive right in with one of our regular guests that we love having him a part of the show, Jonathan Hodges, broker-owner of the Jonathan Hodges team. And he has brought us a special guest today that is Dennis Spellman of Covering Katy News. We're so excited to talk to him. Welcome to the show, guys.
Well, thank you very much. We're happy to be here.
It's always great to have Jonathan on, and we never know who he's going to bring with him, and I'm excited today that he's brought you, Dennis. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about what is Covering Katy News?
Covering Katy News is an online newspaper. Basically, we publish the news, but we only publish it digitally. We decided not to go with printing it. We're saving a few trees, and we really saw a few years ago, 7 years ago, when we began our venture, we decided that that was where people were going. Back when we first tried to sell advertising for it, people would say they didn't want to advertise with us if we didn't have a publication that's in print. And today, people don't even ask that question. People are reading their news on their telephone, and so that's what we attempt to do. Is we focus in on Katy only. We're very Katy specific. It's a very large area on the western side of Houston. It deserves its own coverage, and that's what we give it.
Wow, Dennis, tell me, I know you cover a lot of exciting news. Mm-hmm. Tell me a story, or tell us a story about something that sticks out in your head.
I think what made Covering Katy come to people's minds as to what the vision was behind it was we always wanted to have a publication that would be there during an emergency. And Hurricane Harvey was that emergency. Mm-hmm. And when the Houston Chronicle and the TV stations in Houston were just so busy just covering Houston, we were able to just cover Katy and get information that was very important to people. People's lives depended on it in some cases, out to people 24 hours a day. We did very little sleeping. And in 1 week, we had 1 million page views. Yeah.
That is really great. So tell us then how that Covering Katy News applies really to the community of Katy.
It's all about the community of Katy. It's all about local news. It's hyper-local news, and sometimes that term is overused by publications, but it really is with Covering Katy. There's a lot of news that's happening in Houston all the time, but we believe that the TV stations and the big newspapers like the Houston Chronicle have that covered. But what we do is we delve into the local issues. And so when something big comes up that even though the major newspapers try to cover, we already have the background that goes along with it. So while we may be competing with the bigger publications, we have a background that we can provide people with information and a look at a story and explaining to them why something is happening that the larger media can't do. And I understand what their challenges are, because I spent 10 years working for Channel 39 in Houston and working all over the Houston area, broadcasting stories. I worked for KTRH Radio for a time as an anchor, and News 92 FM for 3 years as well. And so I understand the challenges, and I understood when I moved to Katy that there really needed to be a publication that was more aggressive in covering the news, and that's what we've been able to provide.
Well, your background and experience is clear, and I love the fact that you've been able to bring that in, and I can imagine the impact it makes for Katy, because people really love to know what's going on directly in their community that they live in, work in, have relationships in. So you guys are really making a difference with that community in a special way, and I love that Jonathan is already an expert in that community as a real estate advisor and expert, and so you guys coming together is awesome. Thank you so much, both of you, for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Amy.
And we'll be right back with more of The American Dream.
Hey, American Dreamers, my #1 job is to be your consumer advocate. When you see these guests on the show, I have traveled all over the country to vet the best professionals in your area. If you have a question, real estate, finance, mortgage, tax planning, estate planning, credit, whatever it might be, email me directly and I will respond before my head hits the pillow. Love to help you achieve your American dream.
Introducing S1 Connect by Synergy One Lending, a company committed to making your home buying experience easy and convenient. S1 Connect is the best way to simplifying your home buying experience so that you can get your dream home faster. Whether you're a baby boomer, a millennial, or a luxury home buyer, S1 Connect offers you the opportunity to receive real-time notifications about your home loan, so that you're informed every step of the way. Apply for a loan from anywhere. Compare various loan scenarios to help determine which product best fits your needs. Track your home loan progress with real-time notifications. Safely and securely upload loan documents from your mobile device. And have instant access to your loan officer and real estate agent. Basically, we're all about speed, ease, and expertise at Synergy One, so download the S1 Connect app today. To learn more about S1 Connect, visit us at s1lending.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to find out everything we have going on at Synergy One Lending.
Welcome back to the American Dream. We're so excited to bring our next guest to you. They've been on before, and it's always a treat. We have E.L. Craine. He's the chairman of BROAC, and we also have Avryl Gordon. She is the owner of Avryl Gordon Insurance Agency. Welcome back to the show, both of you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's always great to talk to you. I want to get a little bit more up close and personal so that our viewers get to know you guys just a little bit more and the impact that you can make in the community. So, E.L., I want to ask you first, why should a realtor, a lender, or a builder, why should they work with you?
If they want to grow their business, you know, the traditional title company is stuck in, give me your business, where we focus on creating business for the builder, realtor, lender partner. Because at the end of the day, growing business is a key to a successful business. But if people are only soliciting, there's no room to grow.
Absolutely. So, Avryl, I'm going to ask you as well, what is the benefits of working with you with Avryl Gordon Insurance Agency?
Well, business is risk, and my job is to be a risk manager. So today I went to the Greater Houston Procurement Forum, and we talked about what is it that's required for a small business owner to do business with the city. Those are the types of conversations that I want to have with a small business to a large business owner to help protect their interests, to make sure that when the next opportunity comes, they're prepared to leverage the opportunity and have all of the insurance needs and requirements met.
You know, growing business is our business in the collective. That's how Avryl and I really work together, is to grow business with the small business owner.
So if clients are coming and they want to work with the both of you, what benefits of taking you guys as a team together and helping them?
Well, the opportunity exists for us to collaborate. So whether it's closing the deal to get the property that they need to start their business or making sure that their business is properly insured, they have an opportunity to have those conversations with both of us to leverage the expertise and the knowledge that we have in one place.
And what we bring today, resources. We have multiple resources, access that allow us to venture off into areas that the traditional collaboration doesn't have, because we participate. We just don't say, here, we have this. We actually participate in the collaboration with the different entities that we work with.
And that's why we're so glad that you guys are a part of the American Dream, so that our viewers can see we really try to bring in great expert resources so we can empower their American dream. They can come to you, they can ask all the questions. You guys are there to advise and guide in all needs that they may have. And I'm so glad that you guys have come in to be experts for us and that we're able to send our viewers to you so that we know that they're being taken care of and they can empower their American dream as well. Thank you both for being a part of the show, as always.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it as always.
Thank you for allowing us to participate in the American Dream as well.
Make sure and engage with us in the conversation at AmericanDreamNetwork.tv, and we'll be right back with more.
Hey, Craig Sewing here, your host of The American Dream. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I want to invite you to engage in the conversation outside of the show. How do you do that? Visit us online and on social media. We have so much activity happening there, full interviews, resources, all kinds of cool stuff that you can engage with us and our conversation and help support the American Dream, where we're combating all that negative stuff you see in the media. But don't forget, I also want to be your #1 consumer advocate, so anything we can help you with, finance, real estate, mortgage, tax planning, estate planning, even credit scoring, we have the resources and the relationships that we can help you. Visit us online, engage in the conversation on social media, and don't forget, we want to empower your American Dream, so reach out if you ever need anything. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and thank you so much for following us on social media and engaging in the conversation. Cheers to your American Dream. You just heard from award-winning realtors about your marketplace. It's one thing to find your dream home. It's another thing to finance it. I've traveled the country to find the best mortgage experts in every city. You're going to hear from yours in a Mortgage Minute right now. Let's check it out.
Welcome back to the American Dream. We've got a great mortgage minute for you now. It's with Craine, and she's with Synergy One Lending as a senior loan originator. Welcome back to the show, Craine.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having us again.
It's great to have you, and I know you want to share why would a client want to work with Synergy One Lending. Why don't you just give us a little tidbit here on why it's so great to have Synergy One Lending as your mortgage partner?
You know, Amy, we get asked that question so often, and it's such a loaded question, actually. You know, when you think about all the lenders out there, what makes one lender different or preferred to another lender? We all kind of offer the same products and services, and we all operate in kind of a similar manner. So why choose a particular lender? A mortgage application is such a personal transaction. For me, it is linked to the core of who you are. So it's so important that you form a bond with not only the loan officer, but the institution as well. You have to have faith in and you have to trust the institution that they will put your needs as a client first. At Synergy One Lending, we are dedicated to putting the client's needs first. We operate in 45 states. We provide products and services through financial advisors, through brokers, through direct channels. We have a strong capital base and we have excellent back office operations. Synergy One Lending cultivates a culture that is committed to ensuring that the client has a positive experience and forms a lasting relationship with the institution for years to come. You know, striving for excellence is not just our goal. It is a state of mind at Synergy One Lending.
And I really hope that our viewers reach out to ask you more questions because they really are fantastic. And I know you're a great expert there to meet the mortgage needs of your area. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you, Amy.
That's all for today's episode of The American Dream. Please breathe oxygen into this message and help us combat negative media. How do you do that? Visit us online, visit our website, social media. We'd love to hear from you, and thank you for sharing our content. Cheers to your American Dream, and we'll see you next week. Hey, Craig Sewing here, your host of The American Dream. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I want to invite you to engage in the conversation outside of the show. How do you do that? Visit us online and on social media. We have so much activity happening there, full interviews, resources, all kinds of cool stuff that you can engage with us and our conversation and help support the American Dream, where we're combating all that negative stuff you see in the media. But don't forget, I also want to be your #1 consumer advocate, so anything we can help you with, finance, real estate, mortgage, tax planning, estate planning, even credit scoring, we have the resources and the relationships that we can help you. Visit us online, engage in the conversation on social media, and don't forget, we want to empower your American Dream, so reach out if you ever need anything. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and thank you so much for following us on social media and engaging in the conversation. Cheers to your American Dream.